Welcome to the Val Valley Model Railroad. We're going to be discussing the branch line in this video. We've had many requests asking how the branch line actually works on the layout, because it is kind of hidden. And I was on YouTube today watching a video, and a nice guy by the name of Ray Smith was having hates helixes, and he was looking for other ideas than having a helix on his layout. So we thought we'd share our layout with both our users, and Mr. Ray might give him some ideas. But first we thought we'd take a quick look at our layout so you can kind of understand. It's a 9-foot by 12-foot room. I'm tucked in the entranceway corner here, trying to film it, and you can't quite see the whole thing. This is real close to Ray's layout, I'm sorry. His is 9 foot by something, and the difference being his is N scale, ours is HO, and he has about 8 inches between his decks, where we have about 14.5. So let's take a quick look around the layout. We'll kind of start over here in the corner where it starts, and that's this semi-undeveloped area here. This was a power plant. We ripped it out here recently. We're going to be rebuilding the power plant and a passenger station hidden here in these 3 tracks. This is the main yard, called Pearson Yard, and as you can see, it tucks back into a little cove-like where the old staircase used to be in the back of the house. And up on our 3rd level, you can see that we have the Turd Nugget Mine. And we'll get more on the 3rd level as we come up the branch line, but we're looking at relative positions. So the layout starts and kind of wanders. This is the Pearson diesel engine shops, and off in the distance you can see the Pearson roundhouse. Alright, we're going to continue on around the room a little bit here, and we come into the town of Stillwater. This is the other side of the layout, and the main lines swing around, and boy, it's kind of hard here, and we're right back again. So that's most of the railroad right there. Let's take a look at it from the other end of the layout, looking towards where we were just standing. This space over here is the entrance door, and this lift-out bridge here is actually on the 2nd level. But we'll get to that in a little bit. And you can see the lower level here, which was unfinished, where the railroad scanner is sitting, is where the power plant and the passenger station will be. And above that we have Sycamoose, and it kind of shows part of my branch line. You'll also note that that's the attic door, and those shelves are removable so that we can get into the attic door. The wife just loves to bug me to see me take all that out so she can go in the attic for no reason. Okay, so we've kind of seen the layout, and my branch line starts here in Wallace Junction, and this would be the switch right here where the branch line starts and cuts away from the main. One thing you'll notice right away is my main lines have dark gray ballast, whereas the branch line has a reddish brown ballast. But it starts here in Stillwater, and it comes up and kind of disappears behind this building. Alright, we're going to back up a little bit into Stillwater. You can see the bridge in the back where the branch line kind of sneaks along behind these buildings. And there's another one. As we start to gain, this is about a 4% grade in this section of the branch line. And here is the unscenic area where we're storing our ballast buckets and other scenery stuff. Okay, we've reached what will eventually be the valley here in Val Valley, or the canyon, which is now just a water bottle deposit area and blue bottle staging area. Continuing on our branch line, which is really just a thin shelf that runs along the wall here. You'll also notice that I found some places for scenery. I've got plans for scenery in these areas. They just haven't happened yet. So here we're skirting above the roundhouse. There's our roundhouse on the 1st level. This is Billings, a little town stuck in the middle of nowhere. And we continue along the way here above our diesel shop as our branch line progresses. And in here it's nothing more than just a little shelf stuck on the wall. Okay, comes underneath Turd Nugget Mine here, and it comes out in Sycamoose. This is Sycamoose. And we work our way across the other lift bridge. And this would be the second level that we're on now, coming into the town of Wilson. Now you'll realize that we are on the upper level here. We were just down there on lower. And we keep following our branch line as we start climbing again to the last part of the grade. As you can see, we're now above the two bridges. This is the double track lower main, this is the middle level, and this is the third level that we're coming into. And this is where it comes into Sutton Yard. Sutton Yard is kind of like a collection yard where all the local coal companies bring their coal to a couple tipples to fill their coal into the coal tipples for shipping out. This is the Black Cat coal tipple number 2. And we'll go down a little bit. We have Black Cat coal tipple number 1. And then the Turd Nugget Mine way at the end here. And here's a quick look at our Turd Nugget Mine. So for the most part, my branch line is a collection of small shells that are tucked under the other levels. One of the reasons we certainly didn't have room for a helix here in this small room. So a helix was certainly out of the Our trains are normally assembled here in the yard. They're pulled out of the power plant, which would be here, and the caboose is tacked on the rear. Then the engine's got to run around through the runaround in the yard, back the train out. But our train is already waiting for us out here on the main. We have a pair of old Val Valley Jeep 30s. They're kind of the holdouts from the railroad, yet to have been repainted since Norfolk Southern purchased the railroad. So we'll follow our coal train up the branch line. Today we have a pair of Val Valley Jeep 30s. These are left over from when the Norfolk Southern purchased the Val Valley Railroad, basically assimilated it. They're the last two holdouts from the mighty Val Valley. So we'll follow them up the branch line. Now normally, to get a feel that we've actually gone somewhere with our trains, I make a couple laps through the double main line just to add it like we have more distance. But today we're going to skip that. We are now entering Wilson, where the branch line splits or cuts away from the main line. Now entering the branch line. The engines are starting to feel the 4% grade. And now we'll be coming off the 4% grade. The rest of the hill will be a 2% climb. Passing through buildings.
Report 7, Val Valley, second round, defense detector 9 volts, 10.5. Store car count, 7. Total axle count, 28. No defect. Detector out.
We are now coming into the town of Wilson, which is effectively the second level. Now coming out of the far end of Wilson, we start back up grade for a little bit until we reach Sutton Yard. So in short, while it didn't take us very long at all to travel the length of the branch line, to run an average train when I make it up in the yard and have to get the locomotives on the right end, the caboose tied on the rear, and then pull out, make 2 laps or 3 laps on the double main before climbing the branch, and then the work that I get when I get up here to the end of the line at Sutton Yard, because you got to take the loads and pull them out of either the coal tipple that you're picking up and set them aside, or the coal mine, and then put a caboose on it, and then you got to take the cars you just brought up and either put them in a tipple or in the mine to be loaded for the next run. And that usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how much work. And for a small layout like that on a single train, that's a pretty good operating session. So you can make a small railroad do quite a lot. And instead of a helix, you can consider running a hidden shelf, because in places, you know, you get scenery opportunities like there, and this spot here I plan on having the scenery come out kind of like carved rock and a rock face here, and there's just a lot that can be done, and Sycamoose over there is a grand example of that, on how we use actually no space at all hardly to make a scene. Most people wouldn't have thought there was anything worth modeling there. Similar to what I'm working on here, there's going to be a power plant and a train station there. So that'll be covered in future updates. Thank you for watching Val Valley and our branch line.